Wesley on the brink, still unfaltering, hear her portion and pride.
The number of girls now entering the senior school and the sports fields added a new dimension to sports administration. They played netball and softball, as well as tennis, swimming and athletics. It took time for girls' sports to be on an equal footing with the boys, made more difficult perhaps when only 5 of the 11 APS schools were co-educational. Haileybury girls joined the competition later. Increasing success in girls' sport brought increasing attention, particularly when the Wesley girls won the 1987 Head of the River rowing final. Cato College became Wesley Elstonwick in 1989 and so came into the sporting fold. For many sports, students were bussed into the Prahran campus to join the teams and training. Glenn McArthur's arrival in 1992 saw that his secret weapon for bringing Wesley together was sport. In theory, it looked a winner. Australians, divided they may be on other matters, could be united over sport. Why not the Wesley campuses? He followed 3 important initiatives, which a working party recommended. They were a regime of more compulsory sports for senior students and mandatory spectator attendances at great events such as the combined athletic sports. Second, college rather than campus teams would represent the school in sports wherever possible. And third, he created head coaches to provide expertise and knowledge to teaching staff and external coaches. The system delighted some and alienated others. McArthur is also quoted as saying that sport was one of the most difficult and contentious theatres of the college. Cricket had success being premiers in 1993 for the first time in 24 years, and boys hockey also collected the silverware. In 1993, the softball teams from Glen Waverley and Prahran were said to be the first female teams to play sport on the front turf at Prahran. History recorded the result as GW9 defeated Prahran 4. Around this time, the college negotiated long-term leasing arrangements for sporting facilities in the Albert Park Sports Precinct. David Loader arrived in 1997 as principal of Wesley. The girls' program was in full flight and making its mark on the competition across all sports. Premierships in swimming, diving, tennis, cross-country, hockey and netball, as well as boys' basketball, cricket and soccer were achieved in this time frame. At the same time, debate over sports policy was never far away, with the pendulum swinging back to less sport rather than more. In 2000, the girls' competition expands to include some of the associated grammar schools of Victoria in a number of premiership sports. In 2001, the APS office moved the Head of the River event from the Barwon River in Geelong to the lake at Nagambie, and during winter, Wesley boys won the soccer premiership. In June 2003, Wesley's first female principal, Dr. Helen Drennen, was appointed. Girls' success continued, in particular with softball in the summer and netball in the winter seasons. Again, the policy pendulum swung with more support for sport from Dr. Drennen, with an emphasis on more involvement for senior students, as well as extending the awarding of colours to snow sports. Boys' sports performances steadily improved after 2003, with a tennis premiership in 2006, and in 2010 the college had its most successful year ever in APS boys' sports. Wesley won 4 premierships: basketball, football, hockey and water polo, and Wesley girls won the tennis and the netball. It was a year to remember. Facilities again featured with the total refurbishment of the Coates Pavilion change rooms and the upstairs spectator viewing after-match area, as well as the building of a new 2 multi-court sports centre at Glen Waverley. The period 2011 to 2015 has been dominated by Wesley girls premiership teams, including 4 in athletics, swimming, diving, cross-country, water polo and tennis, 3 in badminton, and 1 each in hockey, netball and basketball. Today, Wesley is a very large institution with 3 metropolitan campuses, several outdoor activity centres and educational residential campuses at Clunes and in the Kimberley. And this has enabled greater inter-school and external competition in more sports. The return of boarding to Wesley with the introduction of residential learning at the Glen Waverley campus will also be a great boost for sports into the future. New coaches are now more likely to be recruited from the ranks of professionals and university students rather than from teaching ranks. And a number of key victories have encouraged participation in sports not previously highly regarded. The sports program is now much larger. However, the integrity of APS competition remains an important measure of Wesley's involvement in sport. Playing within the APS reinforces for all sports people the importance of commitment to one another and to representation of the college.
Wesley,